Let's get to the big picture. The Africa Finance Corporation, that's the continent's leading instrumental infrastructure solutions provider, and the Africa Export-Import Bank, in bed together, the leading trade finance bank for Africa, today signed an equity investment term sheet to partner in building the Africa Medical Center of Excellence, or AMC Abuja Hospital. That's a visionary 500-bed medical health facility currently under construction. The signing, which took place at inaugural AMC Africa Health Forum in Abuja, Nigeria's political capital, heralds a revolution in healthcare in West Africa. The AFC will make up to $40 million equity investment in the AMC Abuja Hospital. As a new shareholder, the Africa Finance Corporation will play a pivotal role in the first phase that involves building an initial 170-bed specialist hospital, which is set to expand to 500 beds by the third phase. Now, with construction over halfway complete, the facility is on track to commence operations in the first quarter of 2025. The new hospital will create approximately 3,000 jobs during construction and operational phases, employing over 200 people and offering training opportunities for doctors and nurses. Let's get more on this very exciting news for Nigeria and indeed Africa. Begna Gebreyes is a senior vice president and head of heavy industries, telecoms and technology at the Africa Finance Corporation. Thanks for coming through from our Abuja studios tonight. And congratulations to you at the AFC and Afrexim Bank on this very big deal, Begna.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Part of this project.
Yeah, thank you. So let me ask you very quickly to raise the curtain. Talk to me briefly about the importance of this AMC hospital and when is it scheduled to open for operations?
Yes, so this project, we started working on it nearly 4 years ago. Afrexim Bank, they started the project development almost a decade ago. But, we came involved during the pandemic when we saw how difficult it was for Africans to travel abroad to continue getting the healthcare that some of them were accustomed to. We saw healthcare being domestically developed and improved as a critical function of the infrastructure development that we do on the continent. So for us, it was imperative. How do we solve this problem? We're now investing $240 million in total in developing the hospital. We're investing $40 million from our own. We'll be raising capital from partner institutions across the continent. And the objective is to complete construction this time next year, and to be in operations by the second half of 2025.
This is strategic for Nigeria, but beyond Nigeria and the entire West Africa, Begna, how would the new AMC hospital transform healthcare delivery within the West African sub-region? We're talking about a region of about 400 million people and more, one of the most populated region in Africa as a whole.
Yeah, no, look, I think one of the problems that we were trying to solve was that, when it comes to very specialist healthcare in cardiology and hematology and cancer treatment, most people with very advanced stages of disease were traveling abroad. I think we saw recently the CBN announced that almost a billion a year. I think it was 11 billion between 2010 to 2020 that was spent on medical tourism. This hospital will, hopefully reverse, that trend. I think the, ultimate intent is to create the type of healthcare institutions that people are traveling abroad for their medical services, but to make them available here locally. Because, within that 1 billion, I think we're also not seeing maybe an equal or even greater amount of services that people need, but they just don't have, say, the FX or the visa or the physical strength to go travel to get these services. By bringing those services here, we're looking to kind of essentially solve what we think is a fundamental problem in the daily livelihoods of the people in Africa, and particularly in the West Africa region.
Interesting, the AFC is an investment institution. So what's the business and investment case for these $40 million equity in the new Abuja hospital? What's the business case for you, for the AFC?
Sure. I mean, look, I think, when you look at the business case, if there's $1 billion being spent abroad, and we estimate that about 60% of that $1 billion will be is being spent on the non-communicable diseases that this hospital could address. Now, when you think about, people spending that money, they're not just spending the $1 billion on the tourism, but they're also spending that money on, hotels, tickets, so on and so forth. I mean, even if what we're offering them is the same level of care at the same price point, there's an enormous amount of savings that the patient can have by staying locally. And then that's money that can be re-injected into the economy. It's also money that doesn't create a huge burden on the kind of the FX situation on the naira, because I mean we've seen how intensely under pressure the naira has been over the last couple of years, and when you think about who are the people who would be the most willing to take any price to exchange? Certainly anybody who's facing a life-threatening condition will be more willing to accept any exchange rate.
Yes.
I think from our perspective, this is not just about saving lives. It's not just about making money, but it's also about what we refer to as import substitution, value creation here domestically.
I love this, and the next part of my conversation with you is about collaboration, and that was just well to put on earlier from the president of Afreximbank, Dr. Benedicto Rama, when he spoke about collaboration, which exemplifies, he said, this collaboration with you and the Africa Finance Corporation exemplifies the power of cooperation among African DFIs in driving impactful projects that benefit our communities and promote sustainable growth. The African Union, at the last annual meetings last weekend, just floated the Alliance for African Multilateral Institutions, which brings all of you together into the same basket of collaboration, of working together. How critical it is, and what a part of your parts will you be playing? You're bringing $40 million on the table. What else will you be putting on the table to support this specialist hospital in Abuja, Nigeria? And what role is the Afreximbank really playing? Begna.
Sure. I mean, I think a lot of credit must be given to Afreximbank in terms of leading this initiative. Professor Orama himself, who had a life-threatening condition that, he realized that the care that he received abroad shouldn't be only reserved for those people who have the means and the time and to travel abroad, that those services should be available here. They kickstarted this. They've project developed this. We've been alongside them for the last 4 years in, ideating what services should be provided, how those services, what markets that they should be going after, how we should be raising money from other parties. I mean, between ourselves, them, and a couple of other parties, we're expecting to raise the initial 100 million of the 240. Together, we'll be going out to raise the balance. I think it's really important to highlight, though, that our collaboration isn't reserved to just this hospital. We've brought them into other projects that which we've developed in the ports and logistics and special economic zone side across the continent. Similarly, we're coming in to follow them here. We've worked together in refineries, both here in Nigeria and in Angola. I think, among all the DFIs across the continent, we work very closely with all of them, but with Afrexim, I think we have a very special relationship where, we just work very well together, and I'm very proud of the things we've been able to achieve.
Well, congratulations once again. Thank you so much for speaking to us on this very positive development in healthcare financing in Africa. Thank you so much, Begna Gebreyes, Senior Vice President at the Africa Finance Corporation. Have a great evening.